Video goes over IXL C3 or 7P. 7 is the code. All right, so it's going to ask you which angle is adjacent to AFC. So the first thing let's figure out is where angle AFC is. So I find A, I follow it down to F, and then I go to C. So this is our angle that it's talking about. Now we have to worry about what the word adjacent means, and so it's asking you to remember a vocab word. Well, adjacent just means next to. Okay, so now let's look at our angles, and we need to find angles that are adjacent or next to AFC. So let's do BFC. Okay, so we have B, F, and C. So that is this angle. That is actually not adjacent to, it's actually included. So that's not going to work. So let's try E, F, and B. E, F, and B is, let me erase that so we can not get confused. So E, F, and B is right here. That also includes the angle. It's not next to it. So it can't be that one. Let's try D, F, E. So D, F, and E is right here. This isn't next to it. It's actually across from it. This could be considered a vertical angle, so it's not adjacent. Let's try this very last one just to verify that it's it. D, F, and A. So I start at the letter D, I follow it to F and to A, and that is this angle. Now this angle, it doesn't overlap the green. It is right next to it. There's no angles in between it, so this one must be it. So it's testing your ability to know adjacent, and it's testing your ability to find angles. So let's go here. Which angles are complementary of each other? So the first thing to remember is what the word complementary means. So if you remember, I always think of complementary means corner. That makes a 90-degree angle. Okay, so we need to find two angles that make a corner. So let's try this. Angle 4 and angle 3 are right here. Now 3 is already a 90-degree angle, so that's not going to work. So that's going to be more than 90, so it can't be this one. Let's try the next one. Angle 6 and angle 3. So I'm going to highlight those. So angle 6 and angle 3. Now if we look, remember, angle 3 already is 90 degrees. So adding another angle to it will for sure make it more. So it can't be really anything with angle 3 in the first place. All right, let's try another one. Angle 6, which is here, and angle 2. Now, the first thing to kind of remember is angle 6 is a perfect vertical angle to angle 2. So angle 6 equals 90 degrees itself. So because that happens, it's going to be more than 90. We can't go there either. Let's just try angle 2 and angle 4. Dun, dun, dun. So they're both tiny angles. Now, the reason I know that these two are 90-degree angles, and this will be a complement of each other, is because this right here is a straight line, right? So that whole thing is 180 degrees. Well, angle 3 takes up 90 of it. So that means from here to here, this must be 90 degrees. So even though I don't know, I know that 4 and 5 would make 90 degrees, but I don't know the angle of angle 5. But what I do know is that 2, we're going to throw in more vocab, is vertical to angle 5, so they must be the same. So if 2 is the same thing as 5, then 4 and 2 would come together to be 90. Really testing your vocab. You just got to know what you're talking about. So I think memorizing complementary and supplementary and vertical and adjacent is super important. All right, we're going to do one or two more examples in this one. Which angles are supplementary to each other? So we talked about complementary being a corner, and supplementary makes a straight line, and that is 180 degrees. So we have to find two of these that make 180 degrees. They would make a straight line, okay? So a couple of things that we can figure out is we know that angle 3 and angle 1 are the same because they're vertical angles. We know that angle 2 and angle 4 are the same. They're vertical angles. Let's try some more. We know angle 7 and angle 5 are the same. They're vertical angles. And the last one, what color haven't I done? I think orange. And angle 6 and angle 8. They're alike. So let's go ahead and see what we got. Angle 6 and angle 8. Now, looking at those two angles, that's not going to work. They're vertical angles, so they're not going to make a straight line necessarily. So it can't be angle 6 and angle 8. Let's try 2 and 1. So 2 and 1, let's do a color I haven't done. I don't think I've done red. Angle 2 and angle 1, when I add them up together, that is a perfectly straight line. So 2 and 1 are definitely in the running. Angle 8 and angle 2. The reason why we can't consider these two is we have no idea what they equal, but they're both larger angles. So if they're both larger or wider or obtuse, they're going to each be more than 90 degrees. So that's definitely not going to add up to 180. Maybe that one. And then angle 7 and angle 2. Now, it looks like they could, right? But we don't know that 2 and 6 are the same angle because these lines are not parallel. So because they're not parallel, we can't guarantee that 2 and 6 are the same degree. So therefore, we cannot guarantee that, that 7 and 2 would make it. But 2 and 1 definitely does and makes a straight line. You can always go with that one. All right, so let's do last one. Which angle is supplementary to angle 1? So I always tell myself in my head, supplementary, 180 degrees, straight line. I am making a straight line, okay? And angle 1, this is the one we're talking about. So we have to find something that makes a straight line. So there's a couple of options that we have here. The first one, actually, when I did this myself, I thought, okay, this entire thing is a straight line. But if I did that, I would have to write in angle 2 and angle 3, and this box is only asking for one angle. So I'm going to go about it a different way. I'm like, all right, well, where can I do another straight line going on in here? Well, I can do it here. So right here is a straight line. I can use that. So angle 1 and angle 5 would be the one that you would throw in here to make a straight line.